Hey, and it's your girl, Allie Myers, and I'm excited to say that I'm starting my new podcast. It's called The Squared Circle Scene, and I'm really excited to be here at NEW, New Era Wrestling in Shelbyville, Indiana. And today I am with the TJ Kemp, and this was his last match, so it's emotional. So how are you feeling? Are you feeling good?
It hadn't really set in yet, but it's going to. It's been very emotional all day. I just walking into the building and just overwhelmed with emotions and everybody coming up, and it just hit me real hard. And it's just, you think you're going to be ready for stuff, but you never are. And like tonight just went by so quick. You know, I wanted to savor every minute and spend time with people and catch up, but you got to go to work, you know what I mean? And it's just, you got to do the thing, and time just goes by quick, I guess.
And just seeing the support that you had, like not just by the fans, but by the roster, I can tell what kind of impact that you've already had. And like, I absolutely love it. As a fan, I love it. I was soaking that in.
Yeah, I've probably been with New Era, minimum 15 years, probably 16, almost 7. I've been wrestling for 21 total. So, and I'd say at least 17 or 18 years probably would have been with New Era. So, I mean, I kind of grew up in here. My son got his start, through in here. He cut his teeth. So, there is a lot of history in this building with me and with the roster and just everybody.
I love it. So what got you into wrestling? Did something spark it when you were a kid or when you were older?
Always when I was a kid.
I
was a military brat, so we traveled around, everybody for 3 years we moved. And one of the good things about living on base is you get all the pay-per-views for free. So, wrestling was just really big there on base, and that was just our thing to do, with all the kids and stuff. And we played Army too, but we generally wrestled more than anything. So as a kid, always.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same here. My dad got me into wrestling, grew up with it, and I've always had a love with it. And then one of my friends associated with here, Jess, she's who got me into this, and I've loved watching you guys. I've been watching you guys for a couple of years now. So I'm super excited about all this. So with you getting ready to ride off into the sunset, may I ask you how you came up with your character, how you built your character?
It was actually just kind of given to me. I tried different things, and then I was with a group, and then they started calling me too cool because I wore sunglasses. And realistically, I'm really shy, to be honest.
I feel that so much.
I would wear the sunglasses just to kind of hide a little bit. And yeah, believe it or not, I'm shy. So they just started calling me too cool, and I was like, well, what are the odds of actually just being on it? I didn't want to use too cool because there was Rikishi, at the time. So, and I didn't want to do that. But then I was like, well, what are the odds of me being on a show, with that?
Yeah.
Flash forward years down the road, it turned out, so I was just standing on this side of him, so he couldn't see where it said too cool over here. But yeah. And so I just kind of ran with it, and I always wanted to, interact with the fans. And the kids they were just drawn to me, so I focused around them and always tried to make them part of the show. I wanted them to go home or on the way home and talk to their parents. Hey, that was fun. I remember when TJ did this. Yes. And so that's what I always aim for, just making memories. That's what this is about.
Absolutely. Yeah, because your whole shades, I automatically thought of Bret Hart, where he goes up to the kids in the audience and hands the shades off, and that's what that reminded me of. You doing
I actually used to do that, but then that got expensive, so I quit doing it.
Okay. Nice. So, did you have any merch that you give to your fans, or did you sell any merch?
I did T-shirts for a while. I used to do sunglasses and stuff, but then here recently, after my heart attack or whatever, I wanted to close the door because I've been ready to retire for a while.
Yeah.
But just things happened with COVID and then my heart attack, and I just felt like I just wanted to shut the door. So I didn't get back into the merch as much as because I was focusing more on closing that chapter.
Closing it, yeah.
Yeah, because I just at the beginning it was neat to have T-shirts and stuff, and I still have a few just left over and such like that. But I wanted to make memories more than merch, if that makes sense.
Oh, so, absolutely, yes. Make an impact. All right. So honestly, I think this was one of the best matches, but are there any others that you've had maybe in the past that you would consider some of your best matches?
There's a lot, actually.
There's a lot?
The match I had show here before with my son was very memorable. He's extremely talented. And just being able to watch him come up and grow and come up into his own, because he was 14, 15 in that very ring in this very building, so actually being able to get in there and roll around with him, because when you're playing with your kids, you do the little soft slams on the couch, and so to actually be able to physically take him and slam him down, it was fun. So
Nice.
No pillows.
No pillows. So do you have any do you have a finisher or a favorite finisher when you're in matches?
As a babyface, I've always went like the rock bottom or the swantons and stuff like that. But I've always tried to do something like an element of a surprise. My favorite thing to do in a match would be to set up a falsie. Just to really hook people, make people think that this is it. That's my favorite part. Promoter gets to plan this is what's going to happen, but you as a performer get to set up that falsie. That is yours.
Love that.
So I take pride into making people think, hey, this is it. Oh, no, it's not.
Psych.
And I think tonight we really got him with when my son was involved. And so
Yes.
I almost started kind of laughing a little bit there, because I was like, oh, this is great. So just hearing that, that's pretty much my favorite thing.
Yes. All right. Another thing I've got is, do you have a favorite wrestler? Since we've talked about growing up watching it and loving the sport, do you have a favorite?
When I was younger, or
Sure.
just like, well, in the 80s, I was in Germany. Obviously, I was a big Hogan mark. It was before I knew anything about, so that was what it was. I was on the Hogan side, and I liked Savage. Savage was always one of my favorites, even though, he's son of a bad guy. I was big, huge, mega power marks, just absolutely loved it. Probably the absolute favorite would have to be Shawn Michaels. When I was really getting into it. Yeah,
Yes.
That's what my son's name is Sean, so it's actually Shawn Michael Kemp. So I named him after my two favorite sports, basketball and wrestling. So it's just.
I learned something new now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So he was kind of cursed, I guess, or with that name. And he goes, "Oh, it's Shawn Kemp." Yeah. So, but that would probably be one of my favorites. I had a lot of different ones I'd love to watch. I really got into Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, and stuff like that. And just more so of the old school and stuff. And I really appreciated them when I'm older, looking back. There was ones that as a kid I just couldn't stand. Then when you're older, like, oh man, that was great.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like with me, I grew up, I was a kid during the 90s, so it was all Attitude Era, so it was always like Stone Cold and The Rock, and then you also had Shawn Michaels and Triple H with DX and stuff, so that's where I was at with all those wrestlers. Yeah. Like, I love it.
I love The Rock and Stone Cold. I love, the Attitude Era was funny. Oh yeah, he always made me laugh, and I kind of mimicked a little bit of stuff in there, and I would watch them. About I started training in 2001, so when they were doing like the WrestleMania 17s and 18 stuff coming through there, I'd watch a lot of that and just kind of get into watching how things kind of put together, which was weird because they tell you at the time when I was down at OVW, don't watch stuff on TV, which was like, well, we're trying to get there. What do you mean? But it's just what it is.
Well, we actually had a conversation while we were watching you guys' matches. I noticed the way you throw punches. It reminded me a lot of Road Dogg Jesse James, the way he rolls his punches. Mm-hmm. And we had a conversation about that out there. So I didn't know if that was somebody else you watched or not.
No, it was just my son actually gave me the idea for doing stuff like that, because wrestling just kind of started evolving and getting more into strikes and stuff, and so I'm just trying to mix it up. And you got to stick with the times, or just you just kind of fade out and stuff. So that was just kind of the thing, just trying something new.
Absolutely. So if there was any up and coming talent, which you said your son's already in here doing his thing, is there any advice you would give upcoming talent that's trying to get into the squared circle?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's probably rough on your body. I can't imagine.
It's not something I believe that you should just try. You know what I'm saying? This is something that you are. I hate it when people say, well, I think I could try it, then don't do it. I think it's a smack in the face. This is something that you are born to do. You just know
passion,
it.
Yeah.
It's a passion. So if you're wanting to try it, just stay on the other side. Because to be brutally honest, this is one of the dirtiest businesses around. If you love this, if you just love watching it, stay on that side. don't jump on the side because it's going to just ruin it for you. Unfortunately, it's just gotten really bad. It's not anything that I have any like huge passion I wanted to stay involved in, just because it's gotten really dirty and just really sad, unfortunately. And it's just not the same. It really isn't. It's not. There's good people out there. There's great talent. There's great promotions, and it's part of the business, I guess, just evolving and coming into its own. But realistically, if somebody's dead set and then they are passionate about doing it, then go to a school. You know, New Era's got a great wrestling academy here in Shelbyville with Damian Cole and stuff like that. So try to go to a reputable school. OVW's down south is where I went to. You know, that's where I was trained. But don't just go to someone and just jump in a backyard. Because the problem is a lot of these younger kids, they don't get taught the etiquette that's coming out. They don't understand why. You know what I mean? When I'm in there, my job is to work for that other person. You know what I mean? I can give a shit less about myself. It's about the other guy. And they don't do that anymore. It's all about getting their shit in and just wanting to prove a point and make themselves. And nowadays I'm finding out that it's more so where they want to be the hero. They want to be the star. And I was brought up as I'm going to make that guy look good. You know, I'm working for him. I'm not about myself and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's changed a little bit, and I think a lot, not all of them, but a lot of the younger crowd, I think they demand or they expect a little bit more, and it may just be where they were brought in or how they were trained. They just don't understand. So I don't think the etiquette part is being taught anymore, unfortunately.
So you think that the new talent is coming in maybe a little bit selfishly?
A little bit. There's a lot of times people's getting a little butthurt, and I just wish they would just acknowledge the fact of, hey, this guy's been here for 10, 15, 20 years or whatever, and they paved the way. Let's give him some respect.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? Let's thank him. Because, I mean, this could have been somebody that you've been watching for years, and now you get a chance to be on the show, and you're going to crap on him?
There's no sense in that.
There is no sense, but not everybody does it. But it's, you know, I'm seeing it more often is basically my point. It's just, and it's not anything that I want to get too involved in or too upset, because it's not worth it. It wouldn't do any good. It may not even be their fault. They may not even know. You know what I'm saying? It's why even, I don't know.
Yeah, and I would think also looking out for that other person, you know, it's a dangerous sport. You would want to look out for your opponent so you both don't hurt each other. You know what I mean? I would think that would fall in that category too. And I guess on my final question I got, is there anything that you would like to say to your fans as you leave? Is there anything else, or you think you've said what you got to say?
I've been trying to come up with what I actually wanted to say for so long. Obviously, thank you, but I think most importantly is please don't forget me. I think that's the most important thing that people are afraid of, is being forgotten after you put in so much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The worst thing is to, I guess, leave and come back and then they don't know who you are, and that's just like a blow after you've done so much for something. So I just, don't ever forget me, and just know that whether I was a heel or a babyface, I gave 100% plus and tried to give your money's worth. So.
Absolutely. Just in the couple of years that I've been coming to the shows, like I'm a big fan. Like I absolutely love your character, both babyface and heel. I thought you worked it amazing.
Thank you.
So I hope you leave on a happy note, and I hope like you enjoy your time off.
I'm trying to, like I explained to everybody, because when we decided to go with the heel gimmick to go out, a lot of people were kind of against it, and I can feel it. They were like, well, why is he doing? You know what I mean? We love the babyface. We want to cheer for it. But I knew where I was going out. I knew what I was doing. And I'm super old school. I believe coming in, putting people over, going out, putting people over, and I was going to do the right thing. And I didn't want to hear the last thing of New Era. I didn't want to hear the crowd boo at all. And if I'd have won being a heel, or if I was a babyface, I would have to lose. So they would have cheered for the heel, and I didn't want to hear the boos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I wanted to hear the cheer. So let me find the best babyface, my friend, my brother, Hillbilly Jed, and it was magic in there. And just hearing everybody just go off, I will never forget that. So I'll take it with me.
That was a really good run, because I wasn't seeing that heel turn. So when you did it, I'm like, no, not TJ, not TJ, but that worked out beautifully. Told a beautiful story.
Thank
so
you.
yes, I love that.
It was a team effort. It really was.
Yes, he did a great job too. Hillbilly, I love him too.
He's amazing.
I think he's good.
He is one of the best.
All right, I want to thank you so much for being on my first podcast.
Oh,
and
thank you
helping
for having
do
me.
this.
I appreciate it.
And I appreciate meeting you, and I hope everything goes well for you. So
Thank you.
so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me.
Thank you. All right, we're good.